All right, some pertinent information as directed by our Sports Information Director's Office. Third largest margin of victory on the road since 1965. The biggest road win since 1988 when Bob Stull's UTEP Miners blanked New Mexico 37-0 in Albuquerque. It's the first time in history that three tailbacks have scored. Oh, well, that's history. First time since I've been here that we've had three tailbacks scored touchdowns in back-to-back games. Our tight end, Craig Winrick, his 66-yard touchdown catch was the longest touchdown catch of any tight end in the history of UTEP football. And we've only, since 1965, had four other teams that have kept opponents to 7 points or less since 1965. So it was a very, very good victory. Also, right now in three conference games, we've only had 6 penalties for 54 yards. So that's showing really great team discipline and team character is some things that we're really proud of. We played you have to excuse me, I've got a bad cold, so I'm kind of a little bit fuzzy in the head here, but we played as a team in all three phases against Tulane very, 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 very well. They helped each other the whole time, offense, defense, special teams. We had great intensity coming into the game. We were at emotionally peaked, just the right level, not too high, not too low, just right before that game. We had great discipline, great unselfishness, played as a team, and we had a lot of fun. And that's what it's all about. We were really physically ready to go, the best shape we've ever been since Socorro this year. And then we were mentally prepared because we had 2 weeks to get ready for this team, so we knew what to expect. And we were healthier than them and probably a little bit more prepared than them because we just had the extra couple of days. And so I think going into that, then we just exploded and made big plays, and they didn't. The ball bounced our way. It didn't bounce their way, and their quarterback got hurt in the second quarter, and it was rough sledding for Tulane against a really fired up bunch of Miners. We had a really great crowd there of Miners behind us cheering for us. We had hundreds of people. I've never seen, relatives and friends and family from all over came to that game. And so those of you that were at the game will know that we really had a lot of people there cheering for us. Brian Young came and talked to the team, and did a real nice job. Let's talk. Any questions about the game that you can? There's Trayvon Nixon, right there. Is he limping? Huh? No? Okay. Get autographs. Are you charging for autographs or are you giving them free? Okay. For now. Any questions about the Tulane game?
In terms of your 8 years here, how would you rate this in terms of the best all around, all three phases game?
Probably as good as we've played. How would I rate this as far as on all three phases since I've been here? Probably as good as win and good a game as we've had. And I talked to him at halftime about, hey guys, we haven't been here before. This team hasn't been up like that at halftime. And everybody's going, it's not 37-7, it's 0-0. I said, no, it is 37-7. It's not 0-0. So expect passes, expect trick plays, expect them to do whatever it takes to get back into the game. We got to go take this ball in the first possession, score, and really put them away. It helped to block that punt right before halftime. There's nothing as demoralizing as to hear that boom, boom, that blocked punt sound. And we actually had two of them. We blocked another one too earlier that would look like a shank. It only went about 17 yards. But as far as all three teams, all phases, this is probably, to my recollection, which is, a week ago, I guess, sometimes.
Coach, how do you feel about halftime and what you said to them at halftime and closing out the game for the coaching staff as well as the players? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I did. I talked to them at halftime. 4 years ago we went down there, I think it was, and they had a backup quarterback and came back and won the game with him. He got them all jazzed up and came back. I didn't want to tell the players that at halftime because I don't want to say this is what could come. There's a cliff right there. Don't jump over. I didn't want to say that, so I didn't mention it to them. But I did mention that that we want to. That we haven't been in this position before. This is a great learning experience for us. Let's capitalize on this. Let's go out in the third quarter and get after them. Expect them to try some things to get back into the game early. We can put them away with a good drive in the third quarter, get down in and score, and let's finish. Let's finish. Let's finish. And so that was pretty good. Halftime was long. Can't remember how long those half times are when you're winning. When you're behind, man, those half times are short. They just fly by. God, we got to go out already. We haven't even corrected this yet.
What about the rushing attack has turned on the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. Well, I just think we're developing as a team. The offensive line is, we're just getting better. We're getting better players back that were injured. And we're coaching them hard and doing a good job. And I thought Bob Connolly and Aaron Price did a great job of developing our running attack for this going into this game. Obviously, Jeff Woodruff is doing a great job with the tight ends. Geez, we've got some tight ends that are really going to be good players. And Kevin Perry dropped a couple balls that he won't drop those in the future, I don't think. But and Banks with the running backs, we got good players and they're playing and they're healthy and we have good schemes.
Was your decision to pass 15 times a result of how well you were running the ball?
My decision to just pass it 15 times, I think it was just that instead of going to run more rather than the pass, I just think it's a lot easier to select plays when they're working, particularly in the running game. When you're averaging 10 yards a carry, you give it to Banyard, and he's averaging 10 yards a carry. The play selection is a lot easier. A lot easier. So you just keep handing it to the guy that's averaging 10 yards, and you get first downs that way. And of course, we didn't get first downs. We got long runs, and they really exploded. And we had made guys miss in the secondary, which I was glad to see.
Following up on that question, 44-7, Nick only completed 6 balls the entire game.
Yeah, right. 44-7, and Nick Lamison only completed 6 balls. And still, I thought he played pretty good. He got us in and out of the right plays. 2 passes were dropped, so now he's 8 of 14 if they catch those. 2 passes I felt like were pass interference. Guys were grabbed, so now he's 10 of 14 if we get those. 1 ball was tipped, so now he's 11 out of 14. So that's kind of the way I looked at it. It's easy to look at it like that when you win. Now, if we'd lost, I'd been, what the hell's wrong, one of those kind of things. But when you win, it's a lot easier to look at that through rose-colored glasses.
Because I can't remember the last time you've gotten that much pressure with just your front 4 guys. Or
Well, I think we had a good matchup. Our defensive line, like you said, pressured the quarterback a lot. I think it would have helped if they had helped Tulane if they had their first string quarterback in there. He probably could have got the hot reads gotten rid of the ball a little quicker than the backup quarterback. But Horace Miller is a force to be reckoned with, and he's playing more now and not being in less substitution. We substitute a lot on defense, but it's been working, and we've been fresh in the fourth quarter. But Horace will probably play more and more. He had 8 pressures in the game Saturday, and I think Patterson's doing a great job in designing defenses to get to the quarterback. Well, Trayvon, as we just saw, walk through the press conference here, is probably the number one concern that we have. Everybody else should be ready to go by Saturday. Question mark. I think he'll practice. I don't know how his knee is feeling, but how that'll be, in 5 days. But he's probably the biggest question mark we have injury-wise.